So it is better to debate a question without settling it than to settle a question without debating it. Good morning, everyone. On behalf of SFS Group of Institutions, I take great pleasure in welcoming you all to the Desalite Inter-Debate Competition 2025. Today, young minds from different schools have gathered here to challenge ideas, sharpen arguments, and celebrate the power of words. Debating is not just about winning, it's about listening, questioning, and learning. So let's look forward to a day of spirited discussions, thoughtful perspectives, and inspiring voices. We are privileged to have with us respected moderator and esteemed judges whose wisdom will guide and enrich this competition. May I now request Ms. Cynthia to welcome today's moderator, Dr. Joel N. Jacob, our judges for the day, Dr. Yadhukrishnan PT, Dr. Tinam Bora, and Ms. Twinkle Sarah Joseph.
On behalf of SFS Groups of Institutions, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome our moderator for the day, Dr. Joel Jacob. A teacher by profession, journalist at heart, and storyteller by passion, Dr. Joel currently serves as the assistant professor at Christ University, Bengaluru, where he coordinates the BA Journalism and Digital Media program. With his vast experience in public speaking, storytelling, and media literacy, combined with his inspiring fieldwork across rural India, he has touched many lives as an educator and communicator. We are delighted to have you moderate today's competition and guide our young minds, sir. Let us wholeheartedly welcome Dr. Yadhukrishnan P., the Assistant Professor in the Department of English and Cultural Studies at Christ University, Bengaluru. His doctoral research examined caste identities in Malayalam cinema, and his work has been published in reputed platforms such as Springer Nature, the Journal of Commonwealth Literature, and Bloomsbury Academic. A dynamic teacher and researcher, his current interests lie at the intersection of cinema, gender, and labor. He is a popular teacher who inspires vibrant discussions and debate in the classroom, making him a perfect fit as today's judge. It's a privilege to welcome Dr. Tinam Bora, the Assistant Professor in the Department of Media Studies at Christ University. With over 14 years of creative and journalistic writing and rich academic experience, Dr. Bora is a well-recognized scholar in feminist media studies and media psychology. Her research critically examines issues of gender, identity, and representation in media, contributing greatly to inclusive and socially aware education. A teacher, researcher, and author, she brings great depth of knowledge to this panel. We are delighted to have her as a judge for today's debate. We are equally delighted to welcome Dr. Twinkle Sarah Joseph, a doctoral researcher at Christ University and recipient of the prestigious ICSSR Doctoral Fellowship. With her expertise in virtual reality, augmented reality, and emerging digital technologies, she has been contributing to the cutting-edge intersection of technology and education. An author and academic, she has also worked on significant research projects and published widely in our field. Her innovative perspective adds a refreshing dimension to today's event, and we are privileged to have her serve as one of our judges. Dear audience, I request you to give a big round of applause to our moderator and judges.
Thank you, dear ma'am, for the warm welcome. With that, let's get ready to begin. May the best argument shine. Let's give a big round of applause to our esteemed judges, the moderator, and our participants. Yes. So we have 10 schools participating today. So the 5 sets of opponent teams were decided over a lottery taken professionally on stage a day before. Parvati ma'am from SFS High School and Radhe ma'am from SFS Public School had helped us by doing the honors. So the first group we have Team 1, SFS School Srinivaspur, and Team 2, SFS School Savanur. So we'll begin with those teams. So I will request the participants to introduce themselves.
Okay, from SFS School Srinivaspur, can you please introduce yourself?
Good morning. Good morning to one and all present here. I am Mainki and I am the interjector.
Welcome.
Good morning, one and all present here. I am Alina, standing for Against the Motion.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm Absha Sultana, standing for the motion.
Welcome.
Good morning to everyone present here. I'm Kushi, standing for the motion.
Welcome.
Good morning, one and all present here. I am Apeksha, standing for against the motion.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, one and all present here. I am Hamiz. I am an interjector.
Okay, so thank you very much for the introduction to me. I'm Joel, I'll be the moderator, and I have my colleagues who are the judges today, Dr. Yadhukrishnan, Ms. Twinkle, and Dr. Teenam. So, students, are you nervous? Nervous? No? Confident? Okay. If you're not nervous, good. If you're a little nervous, that is okay. That is normal. We are human beings. We will get nervous, but I'm sure your debates, your arguments will be very strong and confident. So, in the spirit of competition, in the spirit of debate, let's hope for some great discussions, and I hope we can get some great insights on this topic. So, here are the rules. I'm sure you know about it, but just to keep us all on the same page, to start off, we'll have Team 1, which will be SFS School Srinivaspur, where the first speaker for the motion from Team 1 will take the podium, and following which the second speaker against the motion from Team 2 will take the podium and make their argument. Following that, the third speaker for the motion from Team 2 will come and present. Then the fourth speaker against the motion from Team 1 will conclude the speaking round. So each of you will get 3 minutes each to make your argument. At 2.5 minutes, you will hear a warning bell, which means that you will have to conclude within the next 30 seconds. And after the third minute, you will hear another bell, after which you cannot continue speaking. Is that clear? Okay. For the interjection section, that will be after the main speeches. The interjectors from both teams will participate. So, from your respective seats, the interjector of Team 2 will first start asking the question to the speaker of Team 1, that is for the motion, and then to the speaker of the person who is against the motion in Team 1. Following that, the interjector of Team 1 will ask the questions to the speaker of Team 2, the speakers of Team 2 who are both for the motion and against the motion. Each interjector will get to ask the question in a minute. You just get 1 minute to ask the question. So make sure it is a question and not a paragraph. So stick to making it very brief and to the point. Ask one counter question after the speaker responds. You are allowed to ask one counter question within 20 seconds. Right? And the speaker will need to respond and give an answer within 40 seconds. So there is a bell for each. So we have a timekeeper here who will be keeping track of that. So the interjectors are the only ones who are allowed to jot down points and have maybe some notes with you. But the other speakers are not allowed to read from any script. Is that okay? Okay. So in between, I will ask the judges when you're ready, if you need little time or something. Okay, good to go? Ready to debate? Okay, so let's debate. So to start things off, let's have the first speaker for the motion from Team 1, SFS School Srinivaspur. Please speak for the motion. Take the podium.
Honorable Chairperson, respected judges, worthy opponents, and my dear audience, I stand before you to speak for the motion, your root determines your root. I firmly believe that where we come from or our roots play a pivotal role in shaping the course of our life. Our root. Let me begin my argument with a fundamental truth. Our roots are foundation. Our family, culture, value, early experience are the soil in which we are planted. Just as a tree cannot grow strong without deep, healthy roots, a person's journey in life is influenced by upbringing, environment, and origin. A child raised in a household that values education, emphasizes resilience and hard work, is more likely to carry these traits into his adulthood. These traits are instilled from our roots, influence our decision, our opportunities, and even our roots. For example, Mahatma Gandhi's root in Indian tradition of truth and non-violence determined his route to lead our freedom struggle peacefully. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar's humble root inspired him to lead our freedom struggle peacefully. A person who forgets their roots loses their sense of belongingness, and a life without belongingness is like a ship without an anchor. Secondly, let us explore that root determines root through the lens of psychology and neuroscience. Studies in early childhood development confirm that the first 5 years of life are very crucial in shaping personality, behavior, emotional intelligence, and future decision making. The environment we grow up in, whether nurturing or neglectfully, leaves a lasting imprint on our brain. Many roots in our life are determined by the qualities we inherit from our parents and communities, like language, belief, profession passed down to the generation. Thirdly, values and character are deeply rooted in early experience. Empathy, discipline, courage are not at all random traits. They are learned, passed down, and deeply rooted in us. For example, Barack Obama, though he rose to the highest office, never forgets his root. His mixed heritage, upbringing by a single mother, early community works, influenced him to become a leader driven by hope and inclusion. Kalam, simplicity, discipline, value, from a small town guided to his rule. Friends, our roots are not the time, but the guiding lights. They are the foundation that gives us stability and direction. A root with a strong nutrition, cognitive stimulation, and emotional security creates a vast different foundation than the one with neglect, trauma, or malnutrition. These early guiding increase emotional regulation and learning ability. Therefore, I firmly believe that our roots shape, guide, determine the route we take in our life. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for sharing your thoughts there. We shall have the second speaker who's against the motion from Team 2.
Once again, good morning to everyone present here. Your root determines your root. While roots are a family background, culture, region, religion, social and economic status. R-O-U-T-E, root. Our destiny, our path we decide.
It's okay. Take a deep breath and you can continue. You can continue. Take a deep breath.
Today's present reality and history are filled with inspiring exceptions. For example, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, born in a fisherman's humble family, rose to become the 11th Thank you.
It's okay. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay, we'll have the third speaker for the motion from Team 2. Against the motion, yes.
Honorable judges, respected teachers, worthy opponent, and my dear friends. Good morning to all of you. I rise before you to speak against the motion. Your root determines your root. Roots do not decide our destiny. I stand firmly against this motion. If roots determined everything, then there would be no butterflies, only caterpillars. There would be no skyscrapers, only seeds. Take the example of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He was born in a small village with limited means, but he became the missile man of India and president of our nation. It is not the roots but our choices, hard work, and willpower that truly determine our journey. We are the drivers of our own destiny. Malala Yousafzai, who grew up in silence and oppression, would never have gone on to win the Nobel Peace Prize. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was born into oppression and untouchability. But he chose not to be chained by it. Instead, he rewrote history by becoming the architect of the Indian Constitution. Their stories have proven that the root is not, the origin does not dictate ambition. Gandhi challenged colonial rule, Ambedkar challenged caste systems. Kalpana Chawla, who grew up in Haryana, reached space. Cristiano Ronaldo, who once swept streets, became one of the greatest football legends. Mary Kom, who came from the rural poverty, fought her way to become an Olympic champion. Our beginnings do not chapters. They are only the first page of our story. If roots determine destiny, then Nikola Tesla, who lived in poverty, would never have become the pioneer of electricity. Srinivasa Ramanuja, a village boy with limited formal education, would never have grown into a mathematics genius admired worldwide. Ratan Tata, despite being born to privilege, he chose a life of vision and service rather than comfort. Across the world, figures like Nelson Mandela, Elon Musk, Kiran Bedi, and Dhirubhai Ambani show that it is not the roots but our decisions and determination that matter most. Some may argue that roots give stability, but stability without mobility only leads to stagnation. Others may say that culture shapes us, but shaping is not the same as shackling. Nearly almost all the Nobel Prize winners came from the humble beginnings. J.K. Rowling, once a broke single mother, gave the world Harry Potter. Even Albert Einstein was once considered a school misfit, but now he is recognized as a genius. To the argument that roots are foundations, foundations don't always decide the height of the building. To summarize it all, did you know that almost 60% of the CEOs were not born wealthy? The belief that root determines root is a prison of the mind. It is an outdated deterministic view that undermines human potential. We choose what to plant, what to weed out, and how vertically to grow towards the sun. We are the authors of our own life story. The human spirit coupled with choice and opportunity has repeatedly proven that the root is not written at the beginning. It is navigated, chosen, and earned every single day. Therefore, I strongly reject the motion. Our root is determined by our roots. Thank you.
Thank you very much for making your arguments. We will have our fourth speaker for the motion from Team 2.
Good morning, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I stand before you to speak for the motion, your roots determine your roots. Roots are the foundation of our trees. Our roots, our culture, family determine our path we take in a journey in our life. Without strong roots, even the tallest tree cannot stand, and same applies to us humans. Roots give us identity, strength, and direction. They are the guiding force behind the decisions we take and the dreams we chase. For example, a person born in a family that values education will mostly like to pursue knowledge and use it to shape their career. Similarly, a person rooted in honesty, simplicity, and resilience will choose naturally the path that reflects those values. Roots also act as moral compasses. They They remind us who we are and where we come from. Even when life challenges us, no matter how far we travel, our roots keep us grounded. We can take the example of Mahatma Gandhi. His roots were deeply grounded in simplicity, truth, and non-violence. His roots not only shaped his personality but also determined his roots, which led to India to later independence. If his roots were different, his roots would have never been the same. In conclusion, our roots are not our past. They are the foundation of our future. They are the guiding force behind the decisions we take. So, I strongly affirm that roots truly determine our roots. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all the 4 speakers. So now it is time for the interjector from Team 2. So you can ask a question to the speaker from Team 1 for the motion. They will respond to it. You get 1 minute to ask the question. They get 40 seconds to answer. Sorry, 2 minutes to answer, and if you have a follow-up, you have to ask that within 20 seconds, and you get 40 minutes to answer that. 40 seconds, sorry, to answer that, yeah.
Again?
Yes. You can sit. You don't have to stand. If you want to stand, if it makes you comfortable, that's up to you.
If roots fixes roots, how would you explain against?
It's for the motion. It's towards for the motion. The person speaking for the motion.
Isn't DNA is the root code of every living being? If your DNA is fixed at your birth, doesn't that prove your root from your eye color to health risks is already determined?
Like to use this mic?
Thank you for the question. As you said that our DNA, body health is different and that doesn't determine our root. But you can take for example of a root. Take an example of a building. If the base of a building is not stable, build with a good materials, do the building go to a particular height and reaches the sky at a particular height? It doesn't. It collapses and has more similarity to it does not stand. In that sense, if the base is good built and the building goes to a very good height and success, the only thing there matters is the base. If the base is not good and quite strong, the building does not reach to a particular height nor the success. Therefore, I firmly believe that our root determines our root. Thank you.
You have 20 seconds to ask a counter question if you have one. No? If not, you can ask the question to the speaker who is against the motion.
If root fixes roots, how do you explain quantum superposition where particles exist in multiple states at once until observed?
Excellent question. Thank you for the question. As you said, can you please once repeat the question?
If root fixes roots, how do you explain quantum superposition where particles exist in multiple states at once until observed?
Okay, as you said that our root, I'm standing against the motion. Our root does not determine our root. We can take the examples of famous personalities such as Abdul Kalam, Ambedkar, and so on. They achieved their success their roots did not determine them. They achieved their success from their decisions. They decided themselves to achieve to a particular success. They achieved their destiny only by their decisions, not the others, not the roots influenced them to achieve their success. Even our foundations does not decide that. At the height of the building, my opponent was speaking that roots are our foundations, but foundation does not always decide the height of the building. Our roots do not influence them, no matter how the roots are bad or good. We are the one who decide ourselves to reach to a particular height, to reach where we are meant to be. People don't see where we were and where we are. They see what we become. Take the example of caterpillar. If it continues to grow as a caterpillar, it dies the same. But when it decides itself to become butterfly, the people admire the beauty of butterfly. Take the example now. If you are in a garden, you see two things, a caterpillar and a butterfly. What do you admire first? The beauty of butterfly, not the beauty of caterpillar. So that it's well-being to decide we are the one who decide to go and achieve the success, not the others influence us to achieve the success. Therefore, I strongly reject the motion. Our root is determined by our roots. Thank you.
You have a counter question?
Our root will come from our hard work and inspiring from others, not from our...
You have a few more seconds. You want to rephrase it again? You have a few more seconds to ask that question. Do you want to do it again? Okay. Thank you very much. So now we will have the interjector from this team. You can ask the speaker who is for the motion first, and then after they respond to the speaker against the motion.
Once again, good morning to one and all present here. I'm the interjector asking question for the motion. As you said, as you were speaking, you spoke about culture, family values. So, if our upbringing, culture, family values shape our personality and thinking, then isn't it natural that one's roots strongly influence the direction of life choices and success? In that case, can we really separate one's root from their root?
Speaker, you have 2 minutes. Unfortunately, you cannot discuss.
As you said, roots do not determine the roots. Roots are the basic foundation. Without the basic foundation, even a person feels directionless. Can you please repeat the question again?
If our upbringing, culture, family values shape our personality and thinking, then isn't natural that one's roots strongly influence the direction of life choices and success? In that case, can we really separate one's root from their root?
Our family culture are our truly roots. Without family, no one can. They give us the directions to go our roots. The basic need is our roots. Our family culture truly determines our roots and help us to choose the path, and the correct path chooses our life.
Do you have a counter question? You can ask. You have 20 seconds.
Don't you agree that ignoring one's culture, moral roots might lead to confusion, identity crisis, or loss of direction, thereby proving that one's root determines root in the long run?
Can you please repeat the question?
Don't you agree that ignoring one's culture, moral roots might lead to confusion, identity crisis, or...
Would you like to respond? Okay. Now you can ask the next question to the speaker who's against the motion.
When we see countless examples of people who go behind their family traditions, for example, the children of farmers becoming the scientists or the children of illiterate parents becoming the scholars, doesn't it show that one's root can be doesn't it show that one's root determines root?
You have 2 minutes to respond. Okay, that's time up for the response. Would you like to ask another question? You have 20 seconds.
When a person's root is strictly determined by his roots, then isn't any that very idea of self-effort, personal ambition, in that case, should we believe success is just a destiny and not determination?
You have 40 seconds to respond. Okay, that's time up. I think we are done with that round of debate.
Let's give a big round of applause to the participants. You may please take your seat among the audience now. And we call the next group. Team 1 is SFS High School, Hebuguri. We have the participants Shakti R, Pranita TY, and Deepak T. And Team 2, SFS Academy, Electronic City. We have Aditya Narayan R, T. Dhanya Morta, M, and Karthik Ishwarappa Ganamukhi.
So judges, just let me know when you're ready for the next one. Okay, so we had an interesting first round of debate, so looking forward to this round to see what points you would come up with. So would you like to quickly introduce yourselves from Team 1 first?
A charismatic morning for one and all present here. My name is Shakti and today I'm standing for the motion.
Thank you, welcome.
I am Deepak, the interjector.
Thank you.
Radiant morning everyone, I'm Pranita. I stand against the motion.
Welcome.
Good morning everyone. My name is Aditya Narayanar and I'm firmly standing for the motion.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm Karthik and I'm the interjector.
Thank you.
Good morning everyone, and I'm Spurti, standing firmly against the motion.
Okay, judges, please note, this is Team 1 and this is Team 2. Okay, fine. Okay, sorry. This is Team 1. I think there's a mistake over here. Okay. Cool. So, Team 1, are you ready? Okay, so we will have the first speaker for the motion. You may take the podium.
On August 29, 2025, 2 kids were gunned down and a dozen more injured at Minneapolis School by a 23-year-old. On August 21, a young housewife in Greater Noida was set ablaze over unfulfilled dowry demands. Where is mankind headed to? Good morning, one and all present here. Today, I stand firmly in the favor of the topic, your rules determine your rules. Why do you think I share these above headlines? Because these results in defective rules which lead to weak trees. Every child is like a tender seedling meant to be nurtured and nourished until it grows into a strong, towering tree capable of withstanding life challenges. How firm it stands, how far it rises, how far its shade extends, all depends on the roots. The deeper the roots, the stronger the tree. The roots of the tree here symbolizes one's values, beliefs, ethics, strength, and self-worth, all cultivated to the shaping influences of family, culture, society, school, peers, and even books. The home is the child's first school, where moral values, life lessons, and essential life skills take origin. Qualities such as compassion, resilience, tolerance, charity, humility, forgiveness, and confidence are all beginning from the home and by the actions of the parents, which lay a foundation of emotional intelligence. These values are further cultivated by our school, and that's why our parents carefully research and choose the best school for their child. Beyond this, we have societal, economical, historical, and even biological rules which continue to shape one's psychology, character, and even career choices. Mahatma Gandhi's path of non-violence was instilled by his mother. When Dr. Will Carson, despite poverty, rose to global acclaim as a neurosurgeon, again his mother sustained the habit of reading in him. Healthcare success is attributed to the guidance and support provided by her teacher. Steve Jobs' adoptive parents gave him this stable rooting which made him to achieve greater. To conclude, I would like to narrate the parable of two parents. One raised by a sage who spoke the words of wisdom, the other raised by a thief shouted profanities, both shaped by its environment. I would like to tell that we should prioritize emotional intelligence over artificial intelligence. With this, I rest my case.
Thank you for sharing your views. We'll have the second speaker who's against the motion from Team 2.
In the words of George Bernard Shaw, life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. Good morning, respected moderator, honorable guests, esteemed judges, and all my dear friends. Today, I'm here standing before you all, speaking against the motion, our root determines our roots. Many people have broken free from their roots to carve out new journeys, proving that roots may influence, but they do not dictate. According to the World Economic Forum 2021, it reveals a startling truth. 65% of the children entering school today will work in jobs that doesn't even exist yet. This proves that our future is dependent on our adaptability and the skills that we choose to develop. According to the Harvard study of Adult Development 2022, social connections and personal habits influence long-term success compared to family background. In fact, only 30% of the life's influence can be influenced by childhood environment, while other 70% depends on the type of choices and decisions that we take in our later lives. Throughout history, we have seen extraordinary individuals who have consciously rejected the limitation of their origins to carve out new journeys. Best example is Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Though his family was socially oppressed and from economically disadvantaged family, he broke through all these barriers and went on becoming the principal architect of our Indian Constitution. According to the UNESCO's Global Education Monitoring Report, it states that upward mobility can be maintained through education, talent and determination, but not through cultural or familial roots. This proves that our roots do not play any kind of role in shaping our future. Example is Sundar Pichai, Indra Nooyi, all these people who went on building their great careers in the Silicon Valley. According to the UN data 2021, it clearly states that 281 million people live outside the countries of their birth. This shows that migration is the pursuit of opportunities. It's the search for roots independent of the roots. According to the Forbes report 2022, it states that 63% of the global entertainers today are from non-acting backgrounds. This proves that their talent and determination is what truly shaped their future in building their careers. Perhaps no story best illustrates the fact that one can triumph over hardships, adversities in their life like that of Malala Yousafzai. So, ladies and gentlemen, these stories aren't just inspiring anecdotes. They are the representation of the fundamental shift that we can approach in our life and careers. The question isn't about where you come from. The question is about where you're willing to go. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your arguments. We shall have the third speaker, again from Team 2, for the motion to present.
In the immortal words of Marcus Garvey, people without knowledge of their history, origin, and culture are like trees without their roots. Good morning, honorable judges, respected speaker, worthy opponents, and my dear friends. I am here to firmly stand for the motion that yes, our roots do determine our roots in life. We are like branches reaching for the sky, but the strength of our climb, they come from the roots that anchor us. An education survey conducted by the Times of India in 2023 shows that 70% of students in India choose their careers based on parental guidance. 70%! That's not just a statistic, but the story of millions of dreams being shaped around family dinner tables and through the unspoken expectations of their bloodlines. It is not a limitation, but their greatest strength. A research by UNESCO shows individuals who are culturally rooted contribute more meaningfully and significantly better to their society. Think about LeBron James, a famous NBA basketball player, who came back to his roots to invest in a school called I Promise to give back to the community that raised him. This shows we are always connected to our roots. The Journal of Positive Psychology conducted studies in the year 2021 that shows individuals who are rooted in familial values have stronger resilience and better decision-making skills. This shows our roots do not just show us where we come from, but show us where we can go. Think about global icons like Mahatma Gandhi, who was not known for his Western education or his political power, rather for his deep roots in the Indian traditions of simplicity, non-violence, and truth, which allowed him to inspire global leaders like Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King Jr. across continents and generations. Our cultural heritage, it enriches our creativity. Think about daughters like Arundhati Roy, who used their ancestral memory and regional history to weave narratives that resonate globally. Think about musicians like A.R. Rahman and Ravi Shankar, who let their roots guide their creative evolution, creating something entirely new while honoring something timeless. This is what we have learned so far. It is often the deepest of roots that produce the highest of lights. The question isn't whether our roots influence us. They always will. But the question is, will we let them guide us to greatness? So I would like to conclude by saying our roots are not random wanderings, but guided pathways nourished by our origin that form the map of our future. Thank you.
Thank you for that argument. We shall now have our fourth speaker against the motion from Team 1.
In the beautiful Garden of Eden, where everything was untouched and pure, there lived the very first man. A resplendent morning to respected judges, honorable moderator, esteemed audience, and a special one to my worthy opponents. The first man on the earth had no roots, no ancestry, and no traditions to guide him. If mankind itself began rootless, how can we claim that our origins dictate outcomes? That is why I stand firm against the motion. If a person believes their origin is a life sentence, they can never progress. They lack self-confidence, self-motivation, and will not realize their true potential. Let's consider the life of Oprah Winfrey, who faced hardship and abuse, yet became a global icon. Our own Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, was once a tea seller, but now he leads the world's largest democracy. Stephen Hawking, a great scientist but a wheelchair-bound, who unlocked the secrets of black holes. Thomas Edison, a school dropout, whose inventions lit up the world. Our President, Draupadi Murmu, despite all her challenges, she realized her potential and became successful. If foundations were final, then humanity would have lost its greatest minds. We all believe Earth our ultimate root, don't we? But humans have left it, walk on the moon and other planets. If planetary roots don't bind us, how can cultural or economic roots do so? Let us not glorify roots excessively, because roots have divided humanity. Wars, crusades, clinging too tightly to a religion or race has caused some of history's deadliest conflicts. World War II was stemmed from Hitler's obsession with bloodlines and heritage. Here, roots did not provide roots, instead they dug graves. If birthplace define the future, then what about orphans and refugees? They would never survive, yet they break through, proving our choices, determination, and effort cast the true root of our future. So dear friends, in wrapping up, I would like to say, let's step into the reality. A seed is not just planted and expected to grow. It requires sunlight, air, and water. Similarly, a human life requires courage, confidence, determination, and effort to truly flourish. If we remain bound to our roots, we are limiting our opportunities. Let our perseverance, confidence, and determination be the wings that soar to great heights. Let us explore the unexplored. Let us be brave enough to achieve the unachieved. So I would like to say, we are not the prisoners of our past, but architects of our future. With this, I rest my case. Thank you.
Thank you very much to all the speakers for their opening statements. So now it is time for the interjector. So we will have the interjector of Team 2. You can ask a question to the speaker of Team 1 who is for the motion.
For the motion. So, you have stated that all their culture and society, they all influence a person, his routes. So there is a study which shows that parents who are not able to achieve their dreams, 93% of the parents, they expect their children to achieve their dreams. And another study which shows from 2015 to 2020, the number of children who committed suicide because of pressure has increased. So don't you think that culture, society and parental pressure, they all have negative impacts on their children and making them to commit the suicide?
My dear interjector, I'm glad that you asked this question. So roots are boundless. They are not kept in a cage. If you don't have financial roots, you can add parental roots. And you told that parental roots are not strong, so they decided to go for suicides, right? They can escape that. They can go for educational roots, which will provide them which will give them wings to prosper more and more. And I would like to state an example to connect more with you. Mangesh Hattikudur, who is the founder of Mental Floss. He, while living with his parents, achieved great things. He did part-time jobs and also focused more on his business. Now he's a great leader. That's not how it depends on us how we use our roots. We can use it inappropriately and even positively. Roots are the salient features. Roots are not just mere things. They are inextricably connected with everyone's development.
So, if you state that roots actually determine roots, then wouldn't that mean that poor people would remain poor and the rich people would remain rich? But that's not true. Because Vijay Malaya, who was a very rich person, became a criminal, whereas Oprah Winfrey, who was very poor, she became a billionaire.
It doesn't justify. It doesn't determine that poor people should have weak roots. Their financial background might be weak, but their educational roots, their parents' support will be strong enough. You can never escape roots. Roots are boundless. They are infinite. You know how? Let me give this example. If you escape financial roots, you will be got into parental roots. If you didn't like your parental roots, you can add social roots. If you didn't like them too, you can add your educational roots. There are many ways. Even food has roots. There are many cases where people have used their roots in a proper way and got into greater heights. And I would like to conclude that roots.
There are many people who have also. There are many.
That's all. Okay, now you can ask a question to the speaker. Yes, who's against the motion?
So, number one, when you were talking about Draupadi Murmu, she had a political background. Her father was a sarpanch. Because she got influenced by her root, she went into the line of politics and she became the president of India. So, that is one mistake which you have actually made in your speech. And when you state that their roots have no effect on their routes, do you state that tradition and culture, they have no impact?
That was a great question, interjector, but I would like to make it more clear. Draupadi Murmu might have the political background, but it was her determination, her choice. Finally, she came up with her courage and determination to succeed. And you say about educational roots, for example, it's a very well-known thing. All 50 students of a class are taught the same lessons and values. Do all of them follow? No. It's an individual's potential to do what they are. In every case, roots do not determine our roots. Because we see people who rise beyond their roots today. So I say roots don't determine our roots.
So, when you say that it was her hard work and her own determination which made her, isn't that being influenced by the root? Whatever choice a person takes, whatever change it is happening, that is again getting influenced by their root. Because they have a firm root, they are able to make those choices and take those changes in their life.
If you say that, then all of us, no parents easily discourage their children. All are bound with strong roots and encouraged in every place. But not everyone keeps up that encouragement and uses. It's only very few. This is a classic example that states it's merely an individual's choice which determines their future. If origins dictated endings, then today we would lost so many people who broke their barriers and succeeded in their life. So again, I say firmly, our roots don't determine our roots. It's an individual potential to work hard and succeed.
Thank you, interjector from Team 2, and thank you, speaker. Now, we will have the interjector from Team 1. You can ask a question to the speaker of Team 2 for the motion.
If roots truly determine our root, what exactly are the roots of a child born through IVF or abandoned by birth and grown by parental parents?
Could you repeat the question?
What exactly are the roots of a child born through IVF or abandoned at birth and grown up through parents who are adopted them?
Okay, so now when we talk about children who are born from IVF, in vitro fertilization, that DNA, while plays a role, it doesn't necessarily play the biggest role, because studies have shown that DNA can change due to social experiences during childhood. Let me give you a point. Societal challenges. In vitro fertilization, still there are two parents. Even children who are adopted have parents. The values imparted by their parents, values imparted by their teachers, values that they learn during their childhood, everything plays an important role in the choices, the decisions they make in their future. Yes, they do have roots. They have educational roots. They have societal roots. They have parental roots. Just because you are adopted, just because they are not your real birth parents, doesn't mean they don't influence you. Every single thing you experience influences you. They are all a part of your root. Just because you are not born to parents who are your own, doesn't mean they cannot influence you and guide you in your part of life.
Can you give me an example to prove your point?
You would like me to set an example of people who are adopted, yet
Prove your point.
to prove my point.
I'm sorry, you cannot discuss. Sorry, no discussions, please.
You like me to prove my point that even though children have been adopted, they still had roots. I don't see the point of that question exactly, because I would like to state here, even if you are adopted, you have roots. And fine, your parents, okay, if you don't have your parents, you have educational roots. Everyone has educational roots.
Time is up. Okay, thank you. You may ask the question to the speaker of Team 2 who's against the motion.
If roots don't determine the root, what are the children who inherit their parents' wealth and property?
According to the survey that was conducted by a global economic route, it proves that now the 72% of the billionaires worldwide now presently are self-made. They do not inherit the property of their parents and become that. It is their own determination and skills that truly define what they are going to become in future. And as you stated about inheritation of the roots and things, so Ambani had two kids, Mukesh Ambani and Anil Ambani. Anil Ambani failed because he truly didn't know how to maintain it. But Mukesh Ambani had skills to do it. So even if you get support from your parents, it doesn't determine everything. It should come within yourself.
Would you like to counter? Okay. So, thank you very much. I think that was a really powerful debate. I think let's give them one more round of applause. So, we'll give the judges a few seconds.
Yes, so now we will call upon the next group, Group C. We have St. Francis de Sales Public School, Kengeri, and SFS High School, Malur. Team 1 as...
Team 1 is
yes.
SFS Public School,
Yes,
Kengeri.
SFS Kengeri. From SFS Public School, Kengeri, we have Dushyant, Anushka Methi, and Jnanita. And from SFS High School, Malur, we have Tamanna, Vilas Deepti, and Komala.
We'll give a few minutes to the judges. They've requested for some time. So by the time, can we have the students introduce themselves from team 1?
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm Dushit of SFS Public School, Kengeri. I'm studying in class 9 and today I'm standing here for the motion, our roots determine our root.
Thank you very much. Welcome.
Good morning everyone present here. I'm Lanita, standing as an interjector.
Thank you, interjector.
Good morning everyone. I'm Anushka and I'm standing for against the motion.
Thank you. From team 2, can you please introduce yourself?
Good morning to and all who are present here. I'm Tabanna. I'm standing for to the motion.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning to everyone who are present here. I am Komala. I am the interjector of this team.
Thank you. Welcome.
A very good morning to one and all present here. I am Vilas Deepti. I am against the motion.
Thank you. We're looking forward to a fiery debate. Judges, once I get the thumbs up from all of you, we can start. So, question to the audience, are you enjoying the debates? Okay. Next time we need more students participating. Okay. So before you speak, please check the microphone and see if it works. Start only once it is on and working. Okay, so we can start the next round. So welcome once again. Let's debate. Okay, so we'll have the first speaker for the motion from team 1 to take the podium.
Good morning to respected moderated judges, fathers, and my friendly moderators. Today, I'm standing here before you to tell that our roots determine our root. So, what is actually roots? It is the environment, then the social factors, background factors, then education, and all other things. And we see a tree standing tall. We admire it for its height, shade, and fruit. We also thank it for its oxygen, why it is giving oxygen. So, but tell me how? Without deep roots, would it be standing so tall? Would it be giving us shade, fruit? No. Nevertheless, it would never be. So, the roots is the main factor behind our success. Root is the base, the foundation behind our success. So all my friends gave an example of how strong roots helps to overcome success. Now, I would like to give a weak root and a strugglist root and tell even roots can be nurtured through talent, skill, and determination. For example, Abraham Lincoln, he was born in a low caste family, and he was not inspired by all. But though he overcome those challenges by grit, determination, self-esteem, growth mindset, and other things. So we can say that roots help us in our success. Maybe not directly, but even indirectly, those roots help us. All these factors which I told helps us to success. But other than these, the main factors are education, towards our success. It's the path, it's the route towards our success. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker, for making your arguments. We will have our second speaker from Team 2 who is against the motion. Please take the podium.
Respected judges and moderators, fellow debaters and my dear audience, I stand before you today to speak against the motion, your route determines your route. At first glance, this statement may sound convincing as our family, background and circumstances play a role in shaping us. But to say that our roots alone determine our roots is unfair and untrue. Let me prove it with some examples to prove you. So, Michael Jordan was born in a modest household and initially faced rejections when he was cut off from his high school basketball team. But he trained harder and harder, eventually became one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Stephen King grew up in poverty, raised by a single mother, and struggled financially while writing a trailer. Despite multiple rejections from publishers, he taught himself law and he launched a very legendary writing career. Abraham Lincoln, who was born in a log cabin, and he worked various manual works in his youth. So he entered politics and rose to become one of the most respected presidents of America. Each one of these individuals start with difficulty or limited roots. Yet through determination, self-belief and effort, they shape their own roots, proving that your roots may influence, but they do not define your roots or your ultimate destiny. Roots may give a starting point, but they do not put a full stop. Our route is decided by the choices we make, the challenges we accept, and the courage with what we move forward. If roots were everything, then society would never change. But change is the law of life. So I strongly believe that while roots may influence, but they do not define our ultimate destiny. It's not our route, but it's our wings, it's our vision, our determination, efforts, what truly matters. So I conclude this with a thought of your roots are the place of residence, not the place of reference. Thank you.
Thank you, Speaker, for sharing your views against the motion. We will have the third speaker.
It is truly an honor to stand before you to speak for the motion. Your route determines your route. Let us begin by understanding what do you mean by route. Our route, that is our family, background, upbringing and culture, influence our path in our life. Consider you want to plant a bamboo tree. For first 5 years, you water it and take care of it. Nothing seems to be happen. It shows no visible growth of the tree above the ground. But on the 6th year, the tree raises till 80 feet in just few weeks. What were happening during those 5 years? The roots were growing deep and ensuring the tree to handle a certain raise. Same way, our early struggles, experiences, lessons and foundation prepare us for a journey ahead. I would like to clarify this topic further with an example. K.R. Narayan. K.R. Narayan is a great example to this topic, as he was from humble background as Dalit, but his roots didn't limit him. Instead, they motivated him to work hard and achieve his great things. Through their motivation and his hard work, he eventually became the president of our nation. As he was an Dalit, he faced so many difficulties in his life, but his roots taught him to be strong and bold to face the difficulties which comes in his life. Why did I give his example? Because his life demonstrates that one's root can be shaped through their root. The route you choose in your life may twist.
Background is one of the factors in roots, but it is not the final in roots. There are other forms of roots. So what actually it is? The background is family support, the upbringing, the way he brought up. So the way he brought up was he was very strong in his mind. He was very self-determined, and he was very confident with his talent and skills.
You're saying that against for that. Against the motion you're saying.
No, brothers. So their talents and skills were nurtured by his upbringing values. So that's how he brought up himself, and his family and his background. Background is the family upbringing, as I told before. So that helped him to overcome challenges and become a successful footballer.
You said that the root is important for the plants, even as for the humans. But the plants and the humans are different, no? But humans can walk, but plants cannot walk. You said both are similar. How could you say? Can you explain with an example?
As I told before, roots is the foundation. It is the base. It is the route towards our destiny. So, it doesn't mean that it is a full, roots is not a destiny. But as I told, roots is the path which gives you the path towards destiny. Not always that destiny may be styled, but our path is always the same with different unique roots.
Now you can ask the question to the speaker who is against the motion.
You said that the root could not define us. How? Can you say with an example?
Yes. As I told there that Uttara means faith, Bible abuse and poverty.
Can you hold the mic close
A root motivates a child to be engineer, anything. It depends on the root. In what way they motivates its child.
I think that's all. You can ask a question to the speaker who is against the motion.
Ratan Tata became a successful entrepreneur because of his family roots and also his efforts. But without his family roots, he would never got this idea of the business.
The statement you said is not true because every time roots not matter. There are many examples, as I said, Michael Jordan, Stephen King, Abraham Lincoln. Their roots were very limited. Means they worked themselves and without any parent support, they grown up with their mindset, their skills, determination and effort shape their roots.
If roots don't matter, why does family businesses continue?
See, all the family businesses continue to only 2 generations. Rather than 2 generations, it cannot continue because there are many companies who broke down only 1 generation or 2 generation.
Okay, I think that's the end of that debate. Let's give them a loud round of applause. So, thank you very much. You may take your seats. Judges, we'll give you some time.
With that, we have the next, we would like to call the next group onto the stage. SFS High School Koppal and SFS Public School Hebaguri. Yeah. ICS. Dear participants, kindly don't bring any printed materials on the stage. Only interjectors can jot down the points while the debate is on. Team 1 is Koppal. Okay, they have kept it. Team
Yeah, SFS High School Koppal. Team 1 needs, if you can sit here, that's
okay. Here it is. Sorry, mistake.
Students, are you all energized by the maza that is provided? No. You're all hungry, huh? You have to wait some more time. Judges? Okay? Okay, so let's start the next round. Are you ready? 4 teams? Okay, let's have a quick round of introduction. Let's start with team 1. Can you please introduce yourself?
Good morning to one and all present here. I am Deepika, the interjector of this team.
Welcome.
Good morning everyone. Myself Varsha B and I will be speaking for the motion.
Thank you.
Good morning everyone. I am Sneha MS of class 9th. I am standing against the motion.
Okay, thank you. Welcome. Team 2.
Good morning everyone, I'm Joshua Martin, standing firmly against the motion.
Thank you.
Good morning everyone, I am Wazza Farooq Hashmi, the interjector.
Good morning everyone, I am Siddharth, firmly for the motion.
Okay, both teams tell me they're from 9th standard. So it's 9th versus 9th. Okay. So let's start off the debate. So we will have the first speaker for the motion from team 1. Please take the podium.
Good morning everyone gathered here. I am Varsha B of class 9th from SFS High School, Koppal. Today I stand before you to speak for the motion, Our Roots Determine Our Root. Our roots are our beginning. Our family, cultural values and early environment matters a lot. Just like a tree grows in the direction its root supports, our life path is shaped by where we come from. From childhood, we observe beliefs and values. A home that teaches kindness, belief, or ambition plants those seeds early. Due to these early influences, they guide the decision we make, the goals we set, or even the way we respond to failure. Think of a tree, a magnificent oak, or a towering redwood. Its very ability to stand straight and withstand storms or heavy rain does not come from its branches or leaves, but from its roots. Even in cricket, like Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, Rohit Sharma, and many other cricketers often credit their early mentors and family support. Their talent was important, but their roots gave it direction. Some say that people choose their own route. True, but what gives them the strength or even the desire to make that choice? Often it comes from the values and examples we grew with. Think of this. You can't expect a mango tree from an apple seed. In the same way, our roots shape what kind of person we become or even what path feels possible for us. In conclusion, I would like to say that we make choices, but those choices don't come from nowhere. They are deeply influenced by where we come from. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, speaker, for sharing your views. We will have the second speaker against the motion from team 2.
Respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends, if our roots truly determine roots, then every child of a laborer would still be tied to labor. Every child born poor would remain poor forever. Every daughter in a patriarchal village would still be silenced. But reality tells us a very different story. I, Joshua Martin, stand with conviction against the motion. Your roots determine your roots. Because destiny is not sealed at birth. It is shaped by your choices, opportunities, and the courage to seize them. After all, can you ignore the advancement of science in which neuroplasticity shows that the brain rewires itself with each new skill we learn? Epigenetics proves that your genes can switch on or off depending on environment. Your childhood may write the first draft, but life gives you the very pen to rewrite it. The proposition might argue that a child born in a poor background leads a life of poverty. But have you ever taken a good look around the world? In our own Bihar, Super 13 educational program now turns children of laborers into IIT graduates. Their roots said no. Opportunities said why not. By the way, your roots are rewritten every day by that foreign forces that steps in and changes your life. Let's talk about digital revolution, the implementation of AI. That is providing knowledge in everyone's hand, irrespective of their wealth and age. The opposition might also argue that great people became who they are because of privilege. But have you ever heard of Steve Jobs? He was shaped by adoption and Eastern philosophy. He chose rebellion and innovation instead of cultural conformity. What did he create? Apple. Look at our very own President Draupadi Murmu, born in a small tribal village, then became a school teacher in Odisha, then directly to the Rashtrapati Bhavan. So ladies and gentlemen, to say that roots determine roots is not just wrong, it is limiting. It limits the child to the past and denies them the right to dream. And as Rabindranath Tagore said, you cannot cross the sea merely by standing and staring at water. You need effort. And that is why, my friends, your roots does not determine your roots. Thank you.
Thank you for articulating your arguments. We shall have the third speaker for the motion from Team 2.
Honorable dignitaries, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends, we all love to live in the illusion that we are the authors of our own lives. But take a good look around you. While some children are born with libraries at home, others don't even have a working light bulb to study under. Some seeds fall on fertile ground, others on rocky soil. But no tree escapes the pull of its roots. And that is why I stand firmly for the motion. Your root determines your root. Your roots are not just ancestry or wealth. They are the invisible foundations of your life, family, culture, childhood, and environment. Genetics writes the very first map of your life. Our genes quietly shape our health, temperament, and even our potential long before effort even enters the picture. Harvard's research on adverse childhood environments shows that childhood trauma drastically raises the risks of depression and even shorter lifespans. Even economy and sociology proves our point. Did you know that over half of Nobel laureates come from the top 5% of richest families in the world? Privilege may not buy intelligence, but it buys opportunity, books, mentors, and the freedom to try and fail. In India, statistics show that a rural child lives 5 years less than an urban one. If, as you say, roots truly don't matter, then why, may I ask, does privilege keep circling the very same families? The opposition may cite cherry-picked examples of success stories, like that of Malala and the Fogat sisters, but they have conveniently ignored the foundations to their success. The father of the Fogat sisters himself was a national-level wrestler, and Malala's father had vowed that education for girls in Swat would continue until, I quote, the last student, the last teacher, and the last classroom survived. Now, think of Beethoven. His family of musicians gave him the gift of genius. But the very same roots carried a father's cruelty, shaping his struggles with people throughout his life. Aristotle once said, "Give me a child and I will show you the man." Modern science agrees. Just as the river Ganga carries the stories of its origins even as it flows forward, in the very same way, we do not rise in spite of our roots. We rise because of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much for presenting your argument. We will have the fourth speaker against the motion from Team 1.
Good morning, respected judges and all the worthy participants. I am Sneha MS of class 9th of SFS High School, Koppal. Today, I stand before you to oppose the motion, your roots determine your route. Where you come from will determine where will you go. If this were true, millions of people born in poverty would never succeed, and the people born in rich privilege would never fail. As Stephen Covey once said, I'm not a product of my circumstances, I'm a product of my choices. Roots may give us a starting point, but it is our choices, career, dreams that define our route. If roots were that important, then the son of a farmer would never become a scientist, and the daughter of a tailor would never become a successful entrepreneur. Example, Kalpana Saroj. Though she was a daughter of a tailor and she came from a very backward class, yet she became a successful entrepreneur and a chairperson of Kamani Tubes. Another example, Michelle Obama. Though she was from a working class family, her father was a city pump operator and her mother a homemaker. Yet she became a global leader. Here, her roots did not determine her root. Here, her choices, determination, braveness determined her root. Take example of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. Though he was a newspaper seller, he did not let that define him. Through his vision, hard work and determination, he became the missile man and president of India. If roots alone determined root, then change and progress would never be possible. As Barack Obama once said, where you are right now does not have to determine where you will end up. If roots were that important, then there would be no stories of self-made leaders, inventors, or change makers. We are not humans. We are not trees. We are humans. Our roots do not build us. Our choices define us. So I firmly believe that our roots determine our root. Thank you. Do not determine our root. Thank you.
Thank you, speaker, for sharing your arguments. If the judges are ready, we can go for the interjections. Okay, thank you. So time for the interjections. We shall have the interjector of team 2 to ask the speaker of team 1, who is for the motion, a question.
Honorable Speaker, you gave certain exceptional examples of people whose roots determined their roots. But let me give you an example of an entire state who did not allow its roots to determine it. Himachal Pradesh. Do you know what the literacy rate of Himachal Pradesh was back in 1951? A mere 7%. And do you know what it stands at today? 99.3%. And remember, this was done despite landslides, floods, and poor mountain infrastructure. The roots of poverty and isolation were difficult, but the state did not allow this to determine its future. With its policies, its perseverance, and people's will, it completely turned the tables. So tell me, if an entire state can change its destiny, how dare we say that an individual cannot?
Actually, I'm not saying that people are not getting education. What I'm saying is their roots are helping them. As you gave an example of Himachal Pradesh, what I feel is before the study was going on, the education was less as compared to now. As you said that, now the change is going on. People are changing their roots. It means people are going modernized. Before, education for women was also not available, but now it is. It means change is coming on, even in roots and even in the direction its roots are going.
You have a counter? Yeah.
So you speak about modernization and how people are changing their roots. Doesn't that indirectly mean that you are saying that now roots do not determine our roots?
I did not say that roots are not determining our root. I'm just saying that the change is going on. People have to modernize according to the generation. If the generation is not, if the millennials would not have been modernized, then the Gen Z would never be coming. I'm just saying that the change is coming.
Okay, thank you. You can now ask a question to the speaker who is against the motion of Team 1.
Dear Speaker, you said that our future is a product of our own choices. Very specifically, you stated that. Let me tell you something. In Ludhiana, the child labor is so extreme that in certain neighborhoods, only 3.7% school enrollment facilities are available. Now, these children, now this is not an isolated case, this is there all over the world. These children are found working at brick factories, hosiery factories, restaurants, laboring to survive. This is not because they are weak. This is not because they have a lack of determination. It is simply the poor lottery of birth that gives them this future. So tell me that if a 12-year-old is stitching clothes for export rather than solving equations, can you say that that what he is doing is a product of his own choice?
So, as you said that, if
their roots did not determine their root. If they were in poor, there are so many examples of people who were in poverty became a successful person. As take example of APJ Abdul Kalam. Because of their choice, because they were not that good, so they cannot do, because there are so many few people who do child labor now, because there are so many government schemes that are doing that child labor is not good. So here not only few people may do the works because of poverty, but there are so many people who are successful because of their poverty.
You have a counter?
So my friend, you are dodging the main question. You are talking about certain exceptions. For every APJ Abdul Kalam, there are millions of children who are not able to do the same. Stop dodging the question. Answer it properly. Why would this overwhelming majority of child labor exist if roots truly determine roots?
As I said, there are so many government schemes. Not only all children are doing the... Can you please hear now what I'm saying? So here only the few people, child who are not able, who are not going to study because they have some works to do, so they are doing the child labor or doing some works. But there are so many people from poverty also they succeeded. There we can say that roots did not determine their root. So I say that.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we shall have the interjector from Team 1. You may ask the speaker of Team 2, who is for the motion, a question.
The question is, if everyone followed their route, would ever woman able to break down from her traditional gender role?
Respected interjector, thank you a lot for asking that question. Let me clear it up right away. Every time a woman tries to speak up in a patriarchal society, he or she is silenced. But that does not make them silent forever. It only burns the fire within them to grow to a status and to a position where their opinion and their thoughts are respected and coveted for. What you are saying merely supports my point. Every single time that a woman escapes her patriarchal roots, as you put it, it is not escaping their roots. Their bad roots, their defective roots, give them the motivation to go on to become whoever they became.
Do you have a counter? No. Okay, you may ask a question to the speaker who is against the motion.
If roots do not determine the root, then why would the people judge why do the society or the employment judge the people based on the background, family background, caste, religions? Why they judge background? Why they judge their root?
Thank you, interjector, for raising this question. Well, let me make one thing clear. It is society that judges the root, not your R-O-U-T-E route. Let me make one thing clear. It was society that set emotions on roots. Your future never set any emotions on your root. Let me make one thing clear. Leonardo da Vinci, an illegitimate child with no status. He is history's greatest geniuses now. And let's look at our own President Draupadi Murmu. Rose from poverty. Now she controls a small tribal village as well as the Indian subcontinent. So you cannot state that people judge their roots and that is what leads to their future. Just because people judge their roots based on the caste, race, religion doesn't make it clear that the roots determine their roots. On the other hand, I said roots does not determine your roots. And even Shakespeare has said to the point, our destiny does not lie in our stars, but within ourselves. Thank you.
Would you like to ask a counter question? Yes. Okay.
If while giving some opportunities to someone, they'll see their background. If they're poor or they're rich, they'll see the background and they'll give the opportunity. If they are in the privileged background, they'll be influenced by the money and they'll get the opportunity. But who are in poverty, they'll be not able to get the opportunity. How will say this? Explain.
So just because one single person in an entire 1.45 billion judge a person by his wealth doesn't mean that his future is decided by his roots. His caste, race, religion may be different. How many people, take example for twin brothers, they have taken different paths. A Minnesota study in 1990 have showed that twin brothers take different paths, shaping different personalities with different opportunities. Just because one single individual judges a person by his caste and race doesn't mean that his future is determined by his roots.
Thank you very much. That was a very interesting debate. I think you may take your seats.
Come to an end of this particular group. Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah. So we'll call upon on the stage. Have you finished?
D. I said this is round D. Yeah.
D.
Yeah.
So you may take your seats among the audience now.
Thank you very much. Well done.
And next we have the class, SFS Public School Etumanur and SFS High School Chintamani.
Judges, would you like some more time? 2 minutes? Okay.
Participants, kindly avoid bringing any written material or printed ones, yeah?
Yeah, no written or printed scripts, please. Only the interjector can take notes. Yeah, just a note to the audience, when a speaker is speaking, kindly do not move around. After they finish or during the break, you may move, but when they are speaking, kindly do not move. It can be distracting for them. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Team 1, can you please introduce yourself? Yes.
Good morning to one and all present here. I'm Carol Mariam from SFS Public School Etumanur, and I am against the motion.
Good morning. My name is Shreya, and I'm the interjector.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Emma, and I'm firmly standing for the motion.
Thank you very much. Can we give them a round of applause? Okay, Team 2, can you please introduce yourselves?
Myself, Alban. I'm speaking as for the motion.
Thank you. Welcome.
Good morning to everyone. I am the interjector of this topic.
Thank you.
Good morning to everyone. My name is Sanjay Christopher. I am standing against the motion.
Thank you very much. Please give them a round of applause. Okay, are you ready? Sure? Okay, so let's debate. We will start with the first speaker for the motion from Team 1. Please take the podium. Please check the microphone before you start.
Good morning, honorable judges, respected audience, and my worthy opponents. Today, I stand before you to strongly affirm the motion. Your root determines your root. What exactly are roots? They are our family, our culture, our upbringing, our backgrounds, the soil from which we grow. And what is our root? It's a journey of life we take, the choices we make, and the destiny we shape. But let me ask you, can a tree stand tall without its roots? Can a river flow without its source? My opponents may say yes, but reality says no. From the moment we are born, our roots guide us. So isn't it obvious that our beginnings shape our becoming? My opponents may point to examples like Ambedkar or Malala, claiming they defied their roots. But did they really? Wasn't it their root, their struggle, their pain, their roots of adversity that fueled their fire? Another great example is Malala. Her courage came not in spite of her roots, but because of them. History is filled with such truths. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's vision for India took shape in Rameshwaram. Mother Teresa's compassion grew from the spiritual values taught at her childhood home. My opponents may argue that roots are chosen, not inherited. But let me ask you, can a tree stand tall, any heavy tree stand tall, without its mighty deep roots? Can we make the choices we make today without our roots? And who influences us to make these choices? Isn't it our roots, our families, our teachers, our culture? Without those foundations, choices themselves would be meaningless. Roots are not chains, as my opponents fear. They are compasses. They don't imprison us, they direct us. With them, we are guided, grounded, and purposeful. But without them, we are like a kite cut loose, drifting aimlessly in the storm. So I ask you, ladies and gentlemen, if roots did not determine roots, then why do we value heritage, culture, and upbringing so much? Why do we proudly call ourselves the children of our parents, the students of our teachers, the products of our soil? Because we know deep down that our roots define us. Therefore, thank you.
Thank you for stopping on time and sharing your points. So we will have this next speaker from Team 2 who is against the motion. Please take the podium. Please check your microphone.
Good morning to everyone, respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. I am stand before you. The statement. Our root does not determine your root. Because, let me give an example. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, he born into a poor family. His father was fisherman. He didn't think like his father to become a fisherman. He think differently, like President of India and scientist. His hard work, determination, and perseverance made him a President of India and scientist. APJ Abdul Kalam said this: if you want to shine like a sun, first burn like a sun. Our hard work, determination, perseverance make us success. Yes, roots may give a starting point. They do not finally decide our future. Our hard work, determination, perseverance. Kalpana Chawla, she born into a small town in poor family from Karnal. She was so poor. He didn't get that much education, but she think like a star. Literally as an astronaut, with her education, hard work, and perseverance, she became astronaut. So hard work, determination, and perseverance only make us success. Not our roots. They determine us. They do not decide our future. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your points. We will have the third speaker for the motion from Team 2.
Respected judges, teachers, and my dear friends. Today, I stand before you to speak in the favor of your roots will decide your roots. So first, let's understand this statement. Your roots means our background, our family, our culture, our tradition, early values. Our root means our path we take in our life, our dreams, our goals, our ambition, and our personal journey. So this statement means our background, our beginning will decide who we are and who we become. Roots shape our thinking. If in a teacher's family, the children love books, learning. This come up naturally. They are not forced.
Family background influences our choices. If a child born from a business family, he often know how to do business things from his young age. He understands what is profit, loss, saving money, and etc. If he doesn't go to the college, he may also become the successful businessman or woman. Let me give you real life examples. Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi was deeply influenced by his mother and Indian culture. His roots taught him non-violence, truth, and simplicity. And his roots led him for the great Indian freedom movement. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. As I said earlier, he came from a humble family. His father taught him honesty, discipline, and faith. Even when he became as a top scientist, he remained as a grounded and simple. His roots were so strong, which led him for a great success. Mary Kom, the boxer from Manipur. Her parents were farmers, but they gave her courage and support. Through her root, she learned how to fight, not just in the ring, but also in her life. Our roots are like the roots of a tree. If a tree cannot stand with her roots, no, it is impossible, because roots will give a tree air, water, and minerals. So I conclude my speech that our roots will decide your roots, but not completely. But our talent, choices are also matter. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. We will have the fourth speaker now against the motion from Team 1.
Honorable judges, respected audience, and my worthy opponents, good morning to one and all present here. I rise today to firmly oppose the motion, your root determines your roots. Yes, our roots may influence us, but do they decide our destiny? If that were true, then should the child of a rickshaw puller never dream of becoming a doctor? Should a girl born in poverty abandon her hopes of education? Should every farmer's son remain only a farmer and never a leader? If we accept this motion, are we not declaring that success is the privilege of a chosen few and failure is the fate of the rest? Take Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, born into social discrimination, yet he rose to draft the Constitution of India. Was his path dictated by his roots or by his resilience? Consider Oprah Winfrey, who faced poverty and abuse. Yet she became a global icon. Were her roots her destiny? No, it was her courage and hard work that paved her route. Look at Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who came from a poor fishing family in Rameshwaram and went on to become the missile man of India and the president. He rightly said, "Dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts result in action." If roots truly determine roots, should he not have remained on the seashore selling newspapers? Even Malala Yousafzai, born into a society that tried to silence her, she chose education and bravery over fears. Her roots did not cage her. My friends, the motion before us is not just flawed, it's dangerous. It tells people you cannot succeed because of where you have come from. Do we want to live in a world where dreams are denied at birth? So to my worthy opponents I ask, if roots truly determine roots, then why is the history of mankind filled with the stories of those who defined their beginnings and rewrote their destiny? Therefore, I firmly stand against the motion. Votes may whisper, but they do not dictate. Votes are chosen, not inherited. Our future is not written by where we started, but by where we choose to go. Thank you.
Thank you, speakers. We will have the interjectors if the judges are okay. Okay, so we will have the interjections now. The interjector of Team 2, you may ask your question to the speaker of Team 1 who is for the motion.
If our factor determines our roots, then how does you explain like people Dr. B.R. Ambedkar or APJ Abdul Kalam?
Thank you for your excellent question. People like APJ Abdul Kalam and B.R. Ambedkar, their roots, they may have come from simple families. Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, we know that he was born and brought up in Rameshwaram, in a very simple and humble family. But the values his parents gave him, it shaped him. Of humility and honesty were instilled in him, and that led to his success. The man we know and love today, the missile man of India and the former president, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. Yes, he was born into social discrimination, but he escaped that. Because of his roots, he led to success. He became successful. He rose to constitute the Constitution of India. It was because of his roots, his struggle, his pain, his roots of adversity, which led to his success. Therefore, I affirm, your root does determine your root. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you have a counter?
If roots will not determine our root, how does reality say no? If roots will not determine our root, how does reality say no?
Is this for the person for the motion? Would you still like to respond?
Thank you for the question, but the question is wrong. Initially, you're asking if roots don't determine, but here I am speaking for the motion. So,
okay, thank you. You may now ask a question to the speaker who is against the motion.
How does your roots decide your destiny? How does you decide your destiny?
I am telling against the motion, so initially your question is wrong.
How does your roots, without roots, decide your destiny?
Without roots. So our roots include our values, upbringing, culture, and also our personal life exposures, experiences, and challenges. So that way, it determines our destiny despite our roots.
Would you like to counter?
Without roots, how does Dr. B.R. Ambedkar become a father of Constitution?
Okay, B.R. Ambedkar had certain talents and certain life experiences that he had when he was a child, and also the values also had maybe a part, but roots give us lessons, but they are not chains.
Okay, thank you very much. Now we shall have the interjector of Team 1. You may ask a question to the speaker of Team 2 who is for the motion.
Good morning. I would like to raise a question with the honorable speaker who spoke for the motion. You mentioned that family backgrounds influence our roots. But let me bring your attention to Mr. Sundar Pichai, who grew up in an ordinary family in Chennai, but now he is the CEO of Google. Was it really his roots as an ordinary Chennai man, one in millions, that took him to such great heights? Or was it his exposure and individuality that made him such a great man? What are your thoughts on that?
I give you a big salute for your opinion. But I want to justify that. See, Ratan Tata, his father was also a businessman. So, he had the DNA of businessman or something. So, not everyone will be having same choices. But he also will be having the choices to continue his generation by his business family. So, he will take this public business.
Would you like to counter?
I would like to ask you about Mr. Sundar Pichai. Can you really justify that it was his roots as an ordinary Chennai man and not his exposures and individuality that made him the CEO of Google today?
See, not everyone's choices will be not same. She will be having her aim to become like that, so she will be take her that CO.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we will have the next question that you can ask the speaker who is against the motion in team 2.
I would like to raise a question with the honorable speaker who spoke against the motion. You mentioned APJ Abdul Kalam and that he became a great man despite his roots. But don't you think he achieved success because of it? You mentioned that it is hard work, determination, and perseverance that shapes your root. But aren't these values that are instilled in children at a young age? Aren't these values that are developed in their young minds? Aren't these values your roots? If they are truly would determine your root.
3-4 questions in one question. Okay, yes.
Yes. With hard work, determination, and perseverance, APJ Abdul Kalam became success. But didn't his roots became APJ Abdul Kalam's roots didn't made him president of India or scientist. With her hard work, perseverance, and determination.
Would you like to counter?
Aren't these values, along with the values of humility and honesty, weren't these instilled in him by his parents in Rameshwaram? And therefore, aren't these his roots which guided him to become the president of India?
Can you repeat the question, please?
Aren't these values of hard work, determination, and perseverance, along with humility and honesty, that were instilled in him by his parents in Rameshwaram, that allowed him to become such a great man? Aren't these values his roots?
His parents maybe influenced him, but his parents didn't made him a president of India. With her hard work, determination, perseverance. With his effort, he became a scientist.
Okay. Thank you very much. That was a very interesting debate. And that comes to the end of all the rounds. Yeah. Okay. That was the last debate. Yeah. So, judges, do you need some time?
Applause for all the participants for presenting their ideas with confidence, clarity, and conviction. It proves that the future of dialogue and leadership is bright. So on behalf of SFS Group of Institutions, I extend my heartfelt thanks to the participants for their spirited arguments and enthusiasm. Special word of gratitude to our esteemed judges and for their valuable time, insights, and to our moderator who steered today's competition with wisdom and warmth.
Thank you.
Finally, a big thank you to the audience. Your support and attentiveness added energy to the event. With that, we bring this debate competition to a close. Congratulations to all the participants once again, and may you continue to let your voices to be heard in shaping tomorrow's world. Now I request the participants along with their teachers to kindly move to the conference room in 4th floor. If you go to Mermier Auditorium in 4th floor, they will guide you to the conference room to collect some complimentary gifts. All the participants with their teachers, along with their teachers.
Okay, big thank you to the organizers. Thank you for inviting us. This was very interesting for us as well.
I think the judges will take some time to...
Yes, they will need some time to work on. If any students need any particular feedback, you're free to meet me, not the judges at this point, but you're free to meet me.
Fourth floor. Fourth floor.